The parable of the prodigal son and his return to a loving father is a story of grace, forgiveness, and unconditional love. The story is also told in art through the work of a 17th century painter. Bartolome Murillo painted The Return of the Prodigal Son, a work which has since sparked books, meditations, and wonder for centuries. Joining us tonight with more is Dr. Jem Sullivan, Associate Professor of Catechetics at the School of Theology and Religious Studies at the Catholic University of America. Dr. Sullivan, great to be with you as always. Here we are in the second week of Lent. Can you talk to us about how this painting relates to the sacred season?
Thank you, Tracy, for having me. On Ash Wednesday, the first reading at Mass invites us to return to the Lord our God with our whole heart. This beautiful painting from the National Gallery of Art is a visual catechesis on what it means to return to the Lord in repentance and confidence in God's mercy. The painting is the return of the prodigal son. It is the work of the 17th century Spanish Baroque painter Bartolome Esteban Murillo, who painted many religious subjects on large canvases like this one. This work is an example of what is called a simultaneous narrative, in which we see many elements of the familiar story of the prodigal son presented in one scene.
And we can see the father's loving embrace of the son and the expression on the son's face. Jem, can you walk us through all of this and the other amazing details of this painting?
Sure, Tracy. If we read the painting from left to right, we see on the left a young boy leading a fatted calf for the feast that this family will soon enjoy. And on the right, a steward holds a platter with fine clothes and a ring. These are symbols of the restored dignity of the prodigal son. And on the right, we see the older son looking over the scene with some displeasure. But Murillo wants us to focus our eyes on the center of the action, which is the father and his prodigal son. The son kneels at his father's feet, begging for forgiveness, as a small dog playfully jumps up to greet him. His clothes are tattered and his feet are dirty. He is a symbol of all of humanity, separated from God. And then we see the father leaning down gently to embrace his son and welcome him back into the family.
And what's our big takeaway, as we look at this painting? What can it teach us or lead us to think about?
At the center of Murillo's masterpiece is the embrace of the father and his prodigal son. This is an image of what happens when we return to the Lord. As we journey through Lent, to Holy Week, to Easter Sunday, we encounter throughout Lent a God who is rich in mercy beyond our imagining. So like the prodigal son, we return to the Lord with our Lenten acts of penance, fasting, and almsgiving. And these give us confidence to entrust ourselves into the loving embrace of a tender and merciful God.
And of course, this incredible piece is on display at the National Gallery of Art, and people can see it online as well. Dr. Jem Sullivan, thank you. As always, it's a pleasure.
You're welcome, Tracy.